Assalamualaikum. Hello. Allow me to introduce myself. My name is Daffa Salama Muhtar. I'm currently a fourth semester psychology student at UIC. On this occasion, I would like to share my personal perspective and experience regarding the conflict between traditional values and modern values, particularly in relation to family priorities and individual ambition. In many cultures, including the one I grew up in, family is often placed as the highest priority. This is also true for me. From the very beginning, my family has not only been a place to return to, but also the primary foundation for making life decisions. Through this video, I would like to discuss a real dilemma that I personally experienced when I chose to prioritize my parents' trust and decisions, including in matters of education and life direction. Even though that choice required me to postpone my personal interests and career opportunities that were already within reach. After graduating from high school, I did not immediately continue my studies at a university. At that time, my father entrusted me with a responsibility to assist him in a place far from home, namely Batam. Even before finishing high school, I had already developed a strong interest in psychology. This interest did not emerge suddenly. In fact, it also originated from my father's contributions. The first psychology lecturer who introduced me more deeply to this field was an acquaintance of my father's. Through him, I not only learned about psychology as an academic discipline, but I was also given the opportunity to study directly with an expert, even through private learning sessions and the lectures at the lecturer's home. This experience was a significant privilege, one that I realized not everyone has access to. However, at the same time, my family circumstance required my presence elsewhere. The trust placed in me by my father could not simply be ignored because I understood that this decision was not merely personal. It was closely tied to the well being and continuity of the family as a whole. My family's presence in Batam was not driven by personal career pursuit or economic expansion. We were there as part of humanitarian mission. We were directly involved in remote and underdeveloped island areas with limited action access to education, attention, and basic facilities. The primary focus of our work was children living on these islands, many of whom still do not receive a proper education. I witnessed firsthand how educational inequality and limited access to basic living resources remain a reality for many communities. In this context, my father's trust was not only about family responsibility but also about social responsibility. Gradually, This experience reshaped my understanding of what success truly means. I came to realize that life is not always about how quickly we achieve personal goals, but about how much impact we are able to create for others. From the perspective of traditional values, filial piety and responsibility as a family member are principles that are highly respected. In my extended family, these values are not merely taught through words but demonstrated through actions. Family is seen as a unified entity where each member holds interconnected roles and responsibilities. However, my decisions to prioritize family was not driven solely by moral obligation or social pressure. More than that, I became deeply aware of the tangible contributions my family, especially my father, has made in my life. This awareness led me to view my decision not as a one-sided sacrifice, but as a natural and human form of reciprocity. On the other hand, modern values strongly encourage individuals to pursue independence, self-development, and careers aligned with personal passion. Had I fully embraced this perspective, I might have advanced my career more quickly, achieved economic independence earlier, and reached personal milestone sooner than if I had postponed them. Yet, I began to question the true meaning of such achievement. Is life solely about individual success? Are independence and career accomplishment enough to define happiness? For me, happiness is not something I wish to attain alone. I want to be happy alongside my family, and I seek a form of happiness that is sustainable, not temporary. After carefully considering all of this aspect, I ultimately decided to pursue was surfing and to complete that path first. Only after that did I continue my education and feel that truly aligned with my passion, psychology, which I'm currently studying. Even my enrollment at Universitas Insancita Indonesia was made possible through my mother's contribution as she part of kami. This further reinforced my realization that my educational journey has never stood alone, but has been deeply shaped by the support and involvement of my family. The decision I made came with various consequences, both positive and negative. I did not immediately pursue a career aligned with my passion. At times, I felt as though, though I was walking a different path compared to my peers. Not in the sense of being left behind, but moving at a different rhythm and within a different context. Emotional pressure was something I experienced on more than one occasion. However, on the other hand, I came to realize that I had gained many immeasurable privilege. Had it not been for my family trust, I might never had the opportunity to visit so many places. At my current age of 25 years old, I have traveled to remote regions across the country as well as major metropolitan cities and even abroad. I have met people from diverse backgrounds, from those living in hardship of to those from upper social classes, from various and ethnicities, races, and religions. All of this experience expanded my perspective in ways that formal education or material wealth alone could never provide. Therefore, I can confidently say that I do not regret the decision I have made. I did not choose my family merely out of moral obligation, but because I believed that prioritizing my family was a reasonable and a rational decision, considering the immense contributions they have made to my life. It was the best decision at that particular moment in time. As I grow older and more mature, I find myself increasingly grateful that I chose that path. In closing, I believe that every individual receives contribution from their family, no matter how small or simple they may seem. These contributions often become the foundation upon which our lives are built today. The conflict between traditional and modern value is not about choosing one contributions and making decision with full awareness. For me, prioritizing family does not mean losing myself. Instead, it has become the way I build life. I build a life is more meaningful and whole. That's all. Thank you.